So Shogun, let's get into it. Chronic versus Daniel. Who you got?
I'll go Daniel for this one.
Brave.
Yeah, it is brave, but I'm hoping for the viewership right now. I think him going through would be quite big. Yeah, I'll go for Daniel. I'll go for the big one.
Okay, so Daniel picked to win for Shogun. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be boring as well. I'm going to pick Daniel. Chronic is a real threat.
Now it doesn't look like I'm a big man anymore, does it?
Nah, you're just a small man, Shogun.
I'm just a small man with a big
very
head.
small man. Just a bobblehead over there. But yeah, Daniel, after his performance yesterday, has convinced me that he is fully locked in and ready. Chronic has beaten Daniel in the past, though, so this is a tough match. And we're not going to see any more Octane Daniel. I'm devastated because we did see a lot of Octane Daniel yesterday, but this is it. It's the top 6 of Salt Mine for North America. Only one player can advance to play in the semi-final. Let's find out who it's going to be.
As always, it's going to be best 7 all the way through this. So 5 matches coming your way, lots of great Rocket League, and Daniel looking to start us off as good as you can. Top ends.
Yeah, that's pretty good by Daniel to get us started. And that's a worrying sign for Chronic early, because if Daniel's aerial game is on point, you're not going to save many shots in this match. You will need to challenge him before he gets up into the air. But that was absolutely perfect by Daniel in the opening chance of the game. Chronic killing the dribble pretty early on the follow-up kickoff, but he looks like he will have at least pressure for now. Has he ended up on the wrong side of the ball here, though? Almost concedes and does lose his back corner boost. This is not good news for Chronic.
Oh, it's going to be a big dive in as well. Tried to come in from where Daniel would have a bit more of a blind spot, but Daniel doesn't have a blind spot. Knew exactly where it was coming in, heard the jump, and knew, okay, I'm more than good to go here because there's no way he's getting to me.
I love the finish as well by Daniel, just dropping it in with the rebound. Really nicely done. The names are switched in the overlay, don't worry, it's fixed already, I believe, or it will be, if not. Looks fixed to me.
Good to me.
Chronic with a chance to get 1 goal back here.
Ooh.
No good, as Daniel has saved it. Really nicely done. That's a great 50-50 as well by Daniel. 0 boost, didn't matter. He is looking brilliant to start off game 1.
I do feel like Chronic's going for a lot of these off-angle challenges where physics dictates it's probably going back to your side of the half. That demo is incredibly harsh. So let's see. Daniel already outplayed him once. There's reset. Chronic tries to go early. It was red, but Daniel couldn't quite get himself back across the front of the ball to put it on net.
Yeah, Chronic is in Daniel's face here, but Daniel's looking pretty comfortable. Just popping the ball over Chronic's head, taking a quick look at where Chronic was. Perfect timing by Daniel with the outplay. So far, Chronic is having a really difficult time surprising Daniel with anything, really. And he's given the ball away here. That's going to be another goal for Daniel. 3-0. Chronic needs to step it up.
That is not the first time either. Chronic, you mentioned earlier on, almost got caught with the same sort of play in his opponent's corner where he doesn't get enough on it. He's not creating any problems. And he's just handed it once again straight to Daniel, who this time does have boost. So he is actually going to go ahead and score it. As you said, just not surprising to anything so far. Daniel has not been caught up by a single diving challenge. Is that going to be the bump? No, instead goes to the reset and ends up being a little bit toothless, but that was plenty of bumps.
Yeah, the bump came after. No boost, steal for Daniel. He had to back out of the corner before it spawned. Chronic immediately switches sides on his approach, but Daniel's got the overhead save. Actually, Crossbar pinches it back to Chronic. Maybe not the best outcome there for Daniel. Chronic does get his first goal of the game. This could have gone pretty much anywhere. He's a bit unlucky that that's bounced straight into the ceiling and then onto his opponent's head. But well played, Chronic. Low 50 to get on the scoreboard.
I love that he slow played it as well, because I do feel like Chronic's has been very, almost hyperactive throughout this game. Everything's got to be done as quickly as possible. That time slowed it up, made Daniel make the first move, and then knew, okay, I've got this now. It's nice and simple. Still 2 goals to difference, 3 minutes left. Here goes Daniel yet again, just blasts it. Gonna prioritize follow-up, and Chronic is now very low boost. This is going to be such a difficult play, and he can't do anything about it.
Just brilliant by Daniel, no risk at all. Overhead shot, forces an awkward save, and Chronic had nothing to have really a real attempt at saving the next shot. If he'd maybe jumped onto the crossbar, he might have been safe, but that's really difficult to see coming. I mean, even if he does land on the crossbar, you're still in a tough position trying to dodge the demo and get a save. Daniel just looks so comfortable right now on the pitch. It's reminiscent of BeastMode yesterday, who didn't make any unnecessary movements. He was just completely in control of his car and the ball at all times. And Daniel, with that same mindset, is completely controlling the pace of the game here. Oh, he's just underneath Chronic. This is frustrating for, well, I will say the underdog now. Maybe they were coin flip coming in, but 5-1, Daniel running away with it.
I mean, what's it that Abject says? When you're playing good Rocket League, it just feels like everything is working for you. And with the way these landed, or the way that this ball seems to be bouncing out, it's always working for Daniel because he's playing good Rocket League and it's getting in positive positions. This could just be the nail in the coffin right here. He's going to let it drop all the way down, shoots up high. Daniel prioritizing the 100 boost, so now it's all up to Chronic. Just try and maintain what he can, pick up the 12s where he can, get away from here. He's done so well.
Wow. Yeah, Daniel's just rolling with the bump really well there. Now easily challenges Chronic's air dribble. An open net for Daniel to make it 6. He's missed it. That is an unusual mistake. And one that honestly could have just cost him a little bit of extra time. I don't doubt he's going to win this game. I think he's probably still got this in the bag. But Chronic might have forfeited right there. He has had some early forfeits in this tournament. 6-1 would have been a pretty significant scoreline. Yeah, he is going to forfeit here. Calls next on 6-1 as Daniel does get the open net from distance this time around.
Again, just try to catch him out, try to dive on in, and it just won't work. That is 0 for 4 now for Chronic, trying to just catch Daniel out. I mean, you need it somewhere. I'm not saying don't do it, because you have to be able to dive in on occasion just to get some free plays and take your opponent's turn. But he needs Daniel to not be able to read him like this. Yeah,
that was a real issue. Daniel is completely switching it up from yesterday to today. If you did catch the match yesterday between Daniel and Wahvey, you'll know it was all pace. It was all about outplays. It was octane mirror match, and they were both trying to up the tempo and keep the pressure on each other. Daniel just really slowed it down here. He's a little bit more leaning towards his Dandroid play style that he does like to go to every now and then. No air roll, Fennec gameplay. He's so good at both of those styles, and honestly every style in between. Very versatile player these days in 1v1. And it's going to make it very difficult for Chronic if this series goes along, because Daniel's probably going to whip out a different style that he has to figure out on the fly. Looking at how dominant that first game was, so I might expect to see more of the same from Daniel in game 2.
I mean, Daniel's decision-making is just perfect right now. If that does not disappear, Chronic's going to have a very, very tough time, because I don't really know what Chronic can do in this series at the moment. We haven't had a chance to see what Chronic can do in this series at the moment, because it has just all been Daniel. He's hitting the ball well, he's doing well for the kickoffs, and more importantly, he just knows exactly where Chronic is at all times. So, yeah, Chronic, up to you here, mate. What have you got that can surprise a person that seems like he knows everything?
Yeah, so it's all for Chronic to figure out. Yesterday, he could not solve the Firstkiller puzzle. Today, he is an equally difficult puzzle, if not more so recently in the world of 1v1, and so far, not so good for Chronic as Daniel fakes a mid-boost grab, catches Chronic out of position, and yeah, that was all it took. Chronic just using that small boost that he had to flip into no man's land. No getting back to the save.
And yeah, another kickoff going the way of Daniel, who won't get to be able to follow it up, but that is the angle that Daniel might want to play this from. Going to take it low instead. Chronic is forced to hit wide, but he's very low boost. Going to have to try and pick something up. Gives up the possession, allows Daniel to have another go at it for the 100. Off the ceiling, Daniel reset. Trying to the far side. How did he generate that power? I think even he didn't want that.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to slam the ball to the back wall. What on earth did we just witness? Where did the ball go?
His car. How do you do that with your wheels?
That genuinely, it looked like a glitch. He sent the ball absolutely flying. That's unreal.
All right, do it again, Daniel. You won't.
See, this is why when people ask, do you think Rocket League's reached its skill ceiling? The answer is obviously no. Soon that's going to be intentional. Right now, even Daniel surprises himself every now and again. No surprises here, though. Reset, fake into the wave dash shot. I've been calling it the flavor of the month right now, Shogun. I see everybody do this, and it doesn't look any easier to save, even though it's so popular. Still so difficult to see coming.
It's just that really good part about when you start to take the abilities that everyone's got. I mean, pretty much everyone can shoot into any corner at this point, and you have to respect it. So the moment your car starts moving and you give up the near post, everyone's just faking it and saying, yeah, that's fine. I mean, Daniel is just doing what he wants right now. This is domination.
Yeah, this is looking very dangerous. Daniel is speed running the round of 6. Chronic cannot keep up with him with a burst of pace. It's not been the fastest series overall by Daniel. It's been, as by intention, he's tried to keep control of this one, but when he sees an opening, he just goes for it. No holding back. And even though for the rest of Salt Mine 4, up until this point, Daniel hasn't looked himself, this is exactly what he needs to do if he's going to defend his title.
Oh, it's off the crossbar. Just something, anything. Go for Chronic. This is cruel at this point.
That wasn't even a bad shot. It was pretty close. But he used all his boost. He lost his momentum. Daniel slams in a long shot, 4-0, easily. And it's looking pretty hopeless for Chronic in game 2. Just the car language we're seeing from him as well. He doesn't look like he's got the belief in himself at this moment.
He's got to answer questions, but none of the answers are going for him.
Okay.
That one's a bit better. It was straight down the middle. Daniel couldn't do anything about it. I think that will actually help Chronic more than anything else. Not having to do the perfect play and still getting a result.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, seeing a flip reset go in past Daniel in the middle of the net, Chronic will know now that he doesn't need to go for crossbar down every single time. He doesn't need to run the risk of hitting the crossbar like he did on the previous attack. And then watching Daniel counter-attack on an open net. That's a good save by Chronic. Playing very carefully in the back corner as well. Oh, pre-flip into an outplay attempt. Daniel did intercept it. He's sticking to the long shots. That was another open net miss by Daniel, but I don't think he realized how much time he had. Still, long-range accuracy could use some fine-tuning.
Yeah, if you hit more of those, you get a lot more respect out of Chronic, and then when Chronic starts to just run back as quickly as possible, that's when you can take your time. Conditioning not quite working yet for Daniel. That is not the first touch he was after. Put it straight into Chronic's car. He'll take the first time short just to get something out of Daniel, but he can continue to play forwards. Picked up the boost, picked up the ball, gave himself the angle. He can see exactly where Chronic is, and it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, more bad news for Chronic. Even though he had a little bit of hope in the middle of this game, it quickly turned into despair. 5-1. We might see another Chronic forfeit here. Although, with there being so much time left on the clock, I don't think he'll forfeit at 6-1 this time. He might wait a little bit longer. Daniel could be making it 6-1 very, very soon. Every time he attacks, he looks deadly. Chronic defending well. Can he get control of the ball, though? Yes, he can. Here it is. A chance for Chronic to maybe do something. Daniel's not going to give him any time, though. You're joking. He's made it 6-1. Completely diving into the back corner.
I mean, he just gave it up, really. He looked so awkward in that back corner that Daniel felt, yeah, okay, I can actually have a go at this. I mean, the scoreline also means that you can take a few more liberties and a couple more risks. At what point does his teammate BeastMode turn around and just go, hey, mate, I need a bit more time. Could you slow this up?
Yeah, that's a good point. What's going on with BeastMode's Rust tournament? If you are wondering why we switched the order of the matches here, it's because BeastMode asked if he could have his match and this one changed in order, so that he could try and win Rust Twitch Rivals and Salt Mine on the same day. We thought, you know, why not? Let's see what he can do. So, bro is cooking right now in Rust Twitch Rivals. Although I'm not really that familiar with Rust as a whole. Great flip reset here by Chronic, by the way. But I'm pretty sure I saw BeastMode get baited by a picture or something. Was anybody watching his stream? Again, I'm not a Rust player. I have watched a little bit of Rust content, so I feel like, you know, it's another one of them shooters that you try and build stuff and bases and all that. Cool. Yeah, I get it. But he was like screaming at the top of his lungs that there was something at the window. I don't know, somebody tried to break in or something, and then there was just a painting. So I think the other team just put a picture on the window and he fell for it. Is that what happened? Did I get that correctly? Somebody must have been watching.
I'm suddenly very curious about this game.
Yeah, we need a clip for this. We have to see. Because it sounded really funny.
Hello.
Oh, that's a good shot. Okay, Chronic is starting to go goal for goal with Daniel here. This is more like it. Even though he's still down by 4, he's got to start trading goals. He's got to start putting Daniel under pressure.
Yeah, it's just finding ways through, getting that confidence back. I mean, there's a long way left in this series. As rough as the opening 10 minutes have been, a delayed kickoff from Chronic. Didn't find the results that he was after, but here comes Daniel looking for the Doomsy dish.
Oh. Yeah, next from Chronic. Daniel's just too fast. Chronic actually had quite a lot of boosts. He managed to boost really well here, but Daniel just continues to find immediate success with the most confident offense that we've seen from him in a while. 2-0 in the blink of an eye. I make that, what was that in total? Something like 7 minutes of gameplay. And
It's
Daniel's halfway
rapid.
to the semi-final.
Yeah, Daniel is taking absolutely no prisoners on this one. I felt really big. You know, I'm gonna go for the big underdog in this one. I'm gonna go for Daniel. Daniel doesn't understand what being an underdog is all about. This is ridiculous right now. And for a player that struggled, you wouldn't really know it. But again, this is what the best players do. You can have as many struggles as you want throughout, let's say, the regular season, the qualifiers for this event. As long as you show up at the very end, nobody cares.
Yeah, it's all about the form on the final day. Daniel has made it this far, and now the only way is up for him. He's already convincing me that he might be making the run. I mean, if he can win this, it's right back to single elimination. It's elite double elimination for the first stage of this playoff bracket. Top 4 is single elim. And Daniel will, if he wins this, be playing against Evoh in the semi-final. What a match that would be, by the way. That is a really, really interesting match.
I don't know how to pick that.
Yeah, that's a really cool one, especially with Evoh looking so good yesterday. But Daniel's in some form, man. I mean, he always has it in him. You know that if he peaks, yes, he's less consistent now than he used to be, but if he peaks, he can take down anyone.
So game number 3. Chronic has been forced to FF both the last 2 games. Needs some early success. The last 2 games felt like they were gone before he got anything rolling. So let's see what he's got this time. Well, he hasn't got the ball, he hasn't got the boost, and he is going to have to deal with yet another Daniel attempted outplay, although that one didn't really have the height on it. So make Chronic's life significantly easier. And he's going to take this now for free, but Daniel just does not care. He's full confidence, happy to dive at everything.
Yeah, this is, you know, kind of what experience will give him. He knows that he will be more confident than his opponents for the most part. Even a player as experienced as Chronic doesn't have the 1v1 peak all time that Daniel has. He just slams in a ground shot. And, you know, amidst all the flip resets, all the mechanics, all of the big aerial plays, the fundamentals are all there for Daniel right now. The counterattacks are on point. Couple of open net misses from distance, but overall the ground shots have got the power needed to keep Chronic under pressure. It's a nasty combination to go up against. If you challenge early, you feel like Daniel's just going to shoot it over your head. If you don't, you feel like he's going to slow play and flip reset over your head. It's 2-0. Daniel with a huge challenge. Easily dispossesses Chronic.
And it's that corner again. He got caught out for this one in the first game. Chronic has once again tried to dive in on those challenges. As long as Daniel has got his car in the right position, he will win that challenge every single time.
Chronic, every time a goal goes in, just stops. It shakes his camera around a little bit. He just doesn't give me right now the image of confidence. He's showing all the signs. Oh dear, yeah, this could be over.
Score for as well.
Yeah, this could be over. This is, I mean, this is as over as it gets in game 3 of a best of 7. Because Chronic is displaying every side of tilt. The salt is through the charts. I don't know what's going on with him, because I mean, Daniel's clearly broken him here, but to happen this early is definitely surprising.
I mean, everything throughout my career says don't call it, don't call. You know, it's still early, don't call it. But it's about as close to calling it as we can ever get. Chronic.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I don't see a way through here. There is not a key to victory. I mean, what would you even say for him is do this more and you're fine. There's so many different fires that need to be put out.
Yeah, I mean, mechanics are kind of falling apart for him. The lack of resistance, the lack of defense on Daniel's attacks is starting to worry me, but even the decision making there, you could see the outplay a mile away. It looks so easy for Daniel to just side flip into the ball and score. Chronic is way too far away to be trying to reverse challenge in that position, or turn and challenge if that's what the idea was. I mean, yeah, it's not looking good for him right now. Daniel is completely steamrolling. Can Chronic get one back? Yes, he can. Okay.
That's reliable. We can trust that.
And that looked good. You know, they were getting glimmers of hope every now and then because Chronic is still scoring. Goals are difficult to stop. Unfortunately, they're just too few and far between.
It just takes a couple too many steps and in full IKEA manual before he can get himself into a position to do so. Whilst for Chronic, it's just, okay, we're in a good spot and I'm just going to throw it on net.
And now Daniel with a chance to make it 5. Air dribble off the back corner while Chronic's goal. And even though that's been saved, he just loops around and then goes again from the other side. Here he comes. delaying the air dribble just enough to get it over Chronic. And it's a reactive play. As soon as Chronic commits, that's when he makes his touch. He doesn't need to do this. He could 50-50, he could reset. He can even go higher in rebound if he wants to. He's got full control.
What I love about the way Daniel is playing at the moment is I have been sat on Chronic's POV for a little while. Every time Daniel's in a position to go for an outplay, that first touch he gets is one that you as a defender put in your mind and just go, oh, come on, really? Because there are so many options right there. Oh my goodness,
Save.
Another stop in the corner. I mean, that last one, the first touch off the side, again, as you mentioned, he can do everything, but you can't dive at him. As, again, Chronic's got something, but it's happening so late when he's already at such deficit.
Yeah, that was a good shot by Chronic, though. Even though Daniel did spectacularly save it in the shot beforehand, that was still unstoppable from Chronic in the follow-up. Chronic just hasn't had any consistent momentum in this series. Every time he scores a goal, Daniel scores right back at him and just crushes his confidence once again. And that might be about to happen here. Multiple shots on target. Daniel eventually finding a way through.
Again.
And yeah, Chronic is just looking more and more out of position with every shot that passes. He's got no boost. He's just circling the box, looking for a small pad. Daniel surely scoring here eventually.
Oh my goodness. It's like a tennis player having to dive at every single hit just to try and save the match.
I'll tell you what, he's done well there to survive. I really thought Daniel was about to score, but Chronic's kept it at 3-goal deficit.
Well, not the best touch from there from Daniel, but the demo will save him. We start again all the way from the back corner, but this is great for Daniel. He can take all the time he wants. He is not the player that's got to try and chase this. Chronic, for the lack of success that he's had at diving challenges, might have to find a few of them. As he is now up, doesn't have the boost to really make much of anything of it, and Daniel just popped the ball high. And then I realized that there is an opportunity on for this. Chronic just tries to scamper back, and he has done so.
Still plenty of time left for Chronic. It's the first time we've not seen him forfeit a game while way down with about 2 minutes left. Fake ceiling challenge by Chronic. He does make it to the far post to save Daniel's attack, but this is still looking very dangerous for him. I've got to compliment Chronic on his defense this past minute or so. He's done really well to deny Daniel multiple times in a row. The problem though is that there's no counter-attacking threat. Daniel's not going all in. He's not giving Chronic any opportunities to get a goal at the other end.
He's going straight down the middle. He's looking for the edge dribble bump yet again. He got a goal like that earlier on. It'll work out. Both players on no boost. So Chronic plays all the way back, missed the 100. Daniel will take it. He's also now got a head on back. Couple of touches. Chronic reset. He's on 5 boosts, so he's got to make this work. Now has to run away because those shots have been on point from Daniel, but he doesn't aim for net.
Yeah, Daniel with a great save. With Chronic's increased resistance here, I think it's wise for Daniel to just make sure that he doesn't give away a goal for free and give Chronic even more reason to be happy with himself. Because a 3-goal advantage in 1v1 is actually not that significant in most cases. You just need 1 goal and then a kickoff goal and you're back in it. So
yeah, thanks for reminding me, Johnny. Still hurts.
3 is a dangerous goal difference to be comfortable on. You should never feel comfortable with 3 goals up. 4, now you've got much harder time.
Chronic.
Oh, okay, it's all gone away from him here. Yeah, he's kind of given this one up in the closing seconds. Much improved by Chronic, but still not enough. Daniel with quad match point, looking like he's going to advance to semi-final even faster than we expected.
And whilst I'm not entirely convinced Daniel was going all out for the goal that we saw earlier on, where Chronic was having an incredible defensive spell, showing what we saw there is part of the reason why we've been so critical from what we've had from Chronic, because that's how hard it is supposed to be to score against him. And instead, it just hasn't. It just seems like half something's gone wrong, give up. This is not going to work out for me.
Yeah, it's just not been enough. I feel if Chronic was going to ever come back here, it needed to be a win there. I see no world in which he reverse sweeps. But hey, good luck. Have fun. This might be the end of Chronic's Salt Mine 4 run. It would be a sad way to go out without taking a game. So he's just got to take it 1 game at a time. Try and get 1 on the board. And the end of the last game, it gave me lots of more hope for his defense. And offensively, we've seen goals that are here and there looking pretty difficult for Daniel to save as well. So the pieces are there, but if we're to say Chronic's got a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle to do, he's put together like the edges. The entire middle is still missing. He's nowhere near. So Tough position to be in. Probably the hardest possible. Let's see what Chronic can do down by 3.
I mean, more than anything, it's the same as what I said last game. The start of this one, it needs to not be down by 4 in the opening minute. He's down by 1, so that's 25% of the way. I've run out of words for this. Daniel is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just tough, isn't it? I mean, that's such a good flick.
That's as good as you can hit it.
Such a good flick. Hard down and in as well. So even if Chronic was going to get a touch on it, the crossbar outplayed him as well. Unbelievable. We've got Daniel back at his best. Firstkiller and Evoh in the upper bracket. Diaz still to play. Beast Mode, the dark horse. What a tournament. What a stacked lineup we've got in NA this time around. And all Americans as well. North or South. No invading Europeans despite Moxie and Joria's best efforts.
Oh, Chronic came through that challenge incredibly well, so he has got one back. I mean, that's the first challenge that has really gone Chronic's way. A lot of them have been bouncing up, or even worse, they'll have a half a win, but unfortunately for him, Daniel lands on his car. So that's a big one for Chronic. And again, it's not the massive outplay. I've done everything I have to score here. It's, yeah, I've got half a win, and I'm going to capitalize.
Yeah, you got to take whatever you can get in a game this difficult. Against an opponent this locked in. Oh! Daniel makes it 2-1. Chronic tried to pitch this across his own net, and it's bounced off the wall into Daniel and into the goal. He tried to like almost double tap that one and not own goal, but he was so afraid of the own goal, he just hit it cleanly into the back wall.
Sure, that's a read though. Like, Daniel is not
definitely
jumping for anything else.
Yeah.
So the first words out of your mouth of your Chronic is, why is he going for that?
Yeah, for Daniel, I mean, he's so confident right now. And I think he knew Chronic had nowhere to go.
Given up on that.
Yeah,
he's
not even moving. It's in. It's 3-1. Yeah, Daniel is playing with full confidence. He's not pulling any punches. And he also knew Chronic didn't really have anywhere to go except crossing it over the front of his own box. So it was a great read by Daniel, but tough position for Chronic. And it's just getting harder and harder. I mean, there's not many different ways we can say this. The mission is just getting harder with every passing minute.
Yeah, just when you think it can't get worse, Daniel says, all right, bet. As he does go across on the side yet again. Oh my goodness!
No,
face him out!
Stop it.
Daniel, have some shame, have some sympathy, have some remorse. Where's your humanity?
I wouldn't have even blamed him if he just left the lobby right there. Not even a GG's in sight. Just leave. Just say, okay, fine. You win. You can have the semi-final. I didn't want it anyway.
Over a boost grab. How? I mean, fair play, Chronic. He is really sticking this out.
He's got a kickoff goal as well. His reward for staying in the match. But this is still just the smallest glimmer of hope. It doesn't even feel like hope anymore. It just feels like more torture. He's prolonging his own inevitable doom and exit of the tournament. And I know that we're commentators. We're supposed to tell you guys, no, it could go either way. Keep watching and find out who's going to win. But it doesn't feel like that right now. It feels like keep watching and find out how Daniel's going to win.
Chronic's just he's still within 2. But again, it feels like this is all up to Daniel. Daniel is playing for clips at the moment, and he's still up by 2. Chronic is playing for survival. And it just will not settle. No matter what Chronic does, he's got 48 boosts. He needs a way through. Daniel is insta-turling, insta-challenging. Chronic's got at least the high ground on this one, but he doesn't dare move forward. He's got 3 minutes left. That's where the good news starts. The bad news is Daniel's still got 3 minutes to cook.
Okay, hold on. Wide open net for Chronic. For the love of everything, put it in. Yes, he does. If he missed that, I would have just felt so bad for him, but he had so much time, and credit to him, he took the time. He didn't rush this.
That's the old school K-Dop right there. Make sure it's you full goal. Do not shoot otherwise.
He removed one of the parameters. He thought, well, you know what? If I just put myself behind the ball, then it's not possible to put it wide. I'm hitting it in a straight line now. Very smart by Chronic, but not looking too clever on this play. Daniel's just making him look silly again. Not that he can really do much. Daniel's so consistent, so quick with the flip resets from close range.
I think what's impressed me most about Daniel is he's mixed it up as well. We know he can go top corner from pretty much any play. but it's the fakes that he's added in, and the fact that he did it so early in this series. We've seen the effect that that's had on Chronic for the longest time. Chronic has double-guessed everything. When he's had to make a decision between, do I pre-jump this, or do I just allow this to go top corner, he can't seemingly get that 50-50 right.
Oh my. Great flick by Daniel. It's a nice save by Chronic as well, but Daniel's still on the ball. Chronic is putting his best games up. He's giving Daniel the most to worry about in games 3 and 4, and these are still relatively comfortable wins for Daniel. At least a lead right now. But Chronic with an opportunity to make it a 1-goal game. Does he have it in him? Aerial into reset. No, into double tap. Daniel even saw that coming. Chronic is trying to fake her flip reset there. Daniel swats it away and puts the counter attack in the net.
And I don't hate the option that Chronic went for because he left that so late. Really showed the hand of the flip reset. And still somehow Daniel just got it right. He kind of figured out, yeah, you're a little bit too far back for the positioning that you've shown me. I mean, Daniel's just got everything red at the moment. He'll be messaging me after this, just going, all right, can we just play my semifinal right now? I don't want to take any time away from this. He is in peak form, and Chronic has called GG's.
Wow. That is insane. 30 minutes. 30 minutes to win 4 games. Daniel is in the semifinal. And what a performance. What a level we've just seen from him. That's a warning to everyone else in the tournament. Chronic eliminated 5th, 6th place. Daniel is coming to defend his title.
I mean, he broke him. There's no other way of saying it. I don't think Chronic played that first game incredibly well. I do think after that, Daniel did everything possible to sap the belief out of his soul. What was he supposed to do? Daniel was unbelievable.
I mean, it sounds almost silly to say, but I think Chronic did kind of... His head went down too early. For me, I think his head went down a bit too early. You could see it the way that his car was moving.
Game all the way through.
I think maybe. If not that, then definitely. Like, have you ever heard about how? And this is a studied, proven. I'm not just talking theory here. This is factual. That your mood can affect your body language, but your body language can also affect your mood. That's why you always hear the advice being given if you're about to go in for a job interview, don't crouch forward and, sit like a nervous person, sit like a confident person, and you might actually, you will feel more confident, and that's almost, it sounds silly to say, but just looking at the way Chronix sat still, motionless, after Daniel would score in game 1 and 2, Chronic did the classic tilted player thing of not moving, shaking the camera around. It's kind of like tilted car language. It's like the real life, the Rocket League equivalent of, slumping your shoulders and being like, deep sigh after you've conceded. And you don't want to do that because it almost manifests more nerves and more lack of confidence, I guess. So I think he should have probably just tried to act like he can come back, even if it feels helpless. He probably let his chin go down, let his head go down a bit too early. But obviously we're reading not just into body language, we're reading into car language right now. So do take this with a pinch of salt. Yeah,
we don't really have the cameras that we have for other events where we can maybe see and just go, okay, so there's the Monkey Moon lean back.
Yeah. Which, I mean, none of us are experts in body language, but you don't have to be to see when a player is just tilted beyond belief, and you can see it more in 1v1 than any other game mode. When a player's tilted on the pitch, they're just not moving. They're flicking their camera around. They're spamming the reverse camera button. Just they're messing up recoveries on purpose. They basically just give up, and you'll see that usually in blowout games like these were, and series that are already just completely over. Which you could argue this one was, but we were seeing those signs really early in the series, like game 2. They were already there. They might have even been there game 1. I don't remember completely, but I definitely did see those in game 2, and I'm thinking this is bad news. This is worrying. That's why from that moment I was saying I don't believe in the comeback. I really don't. Chronic just doesn't look. It's not just the gameplay. It's the bits that don't matter. What is he doing during a Daniel goal replay? Right? He doesn't look like somebody who's eager for the next kickoff, who wants to get stuck in again. So Daniel destroyed him for sure. Mental
I got a question
obliteration.
for because we've been caught out by this in events previously where you know, somebody goes down to the lower bracket and they do very, very well in that lower bracket match and they annihilate the player or the team that they're up against. And we think, wow, okay, they're a whole other level. And then they go into that next round and they hit a brick wall. Oh, is this going to be the same thing with Daniel, or is he really at that level to take the whole thing today?
Oh, I think he's a true threat. I think anyone who plays against Daniel today will have that mental barrier, knowing that he is the defending champion and knowing that he is, until proven otherwise, the guy in NA1s. This is his server. I mean, Diaz is now on low ping on this server as well. He's come to take it, but I think anyone who plays against Daniel is they're gonna struggle at some point during the series. But will Daniel struggle? I've not seen anything today that would lead me to believe he will struggle mentally. And I don't think I've seen anything from him in Big Ones events in the past that would lead me to believe he's going to struggle mentally. Not in North America, at least. Maybe in a Worlds event, because he did struggle at Gamers 8 a year and a half ago, but I don't think he's going to struggle today. No.